Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk a little bit about Arrow because during this weekend it was announced that Emily Bett Rickards will be leaving the show. Now, some of you are probably wondering, wait a minute, David, I thought Arrow was ending anyways at season 8, right? Well, it seems like Emily Bett Rickards, who plays Felicity, wants to leave the show a little bit earlier, which everybody is thinking that's an odd choice to leave at, because there's only going to be 10 episodes in season 8. Now, I don't know how much 10 episodes feel like on an average day on set. Maybe it feels like a lifetime, and maybe she just feels like she's wanting to go a little bit early. I find this very similar to when Allison Mack, who played Chloe on Smallville, left Smallville a little bit early. She didn't really leave because Chloe at least came back for like 4 or 5 episodes in the last season. But to also be fair, the last season of Smallville was still your regular 23 episodes, I believe, or 21 episodes or something like that. So I think that was a little bit more understandable, considering the fact that Arrow's only going to be 10 episodes next season for its final season. I did find it a little bit odd. Now she did come out and release a statement that it was her choice, and on the producer's side, they all said they're going to miss her terribly, that she'll always be part of the Arrow family. That's just to cut things short. I'm not going to read the whole statement here on what both sides left. So obviously, there's no reason to lie about it, right? Unless maybe they're planning something big for the finale, where maybe Felicity is going to bite the dust. Now this is just a theory I had, and I've been having it for a while actually. Ever since this news broke that Felicity will be not returning next season. I think she might still return for at least an episode or two, just to kind of tie up loose ends, because, I mean, I'm just trying to, on my end, I'm trying to figure out how they're going to end it without her, since she is a huge part of Arrow, the show, to Oliver Queen's life. And, I think the creators at the same time know they want to end the show faithfully to not just the viewers who have been on this ride for a long time, but maybe to the comic book purists out there. And I was thinking, what if this is their way to get rid of Felicity and have Oliver end up with this alternate Laurel? I know Oliver kind of put his feelings about Laurel away ever since the 100th episode. That was kind of like their little wrap up to Oliver's love for Laurel, the original Laurel, anyways. But I can see them maybe giving the fans finally the romance that they really wanted since the beginning to finally happen. Because let's face it, Felicity really just happened because Stephen Amell and Emily Bett Rickards had great chemistry together on screen. And so that was a little bit of the fan, I think the producers were a fan of that shipping. So that's why they made that romance blossom a lot more, specifically in season 3 and onwards, because it was very subtle in season 1 and 2, right? There was a little flirtation, but it wasn't like big. Season 1, obviously, they concentrated more on Laurel and Oliver, but then it switched. I think since this is the final season, I think we are going to see Black Canary and Green Arrow hooking up the way they are in the comics. Because in the comics, they're like they're like another Lois and Clark, essentially. And what's interesting about this season is how they have this future where we just recently learned about the whereabouts of Felicity. We learned that Felicity was still alive in the future. And we now know that William is there and looking for both of them. He just found not only Felicity, but earlier not too long ago, he also found his long lost sister that he didn't even know he had. which was interesting. Mia. I do have a theory on what they're going for with these two characters. I actually do think that the series is going to end in the future with Mia becoming the new Green Arrow and William becoming the new Felicity, and having them work as a team through that capacity. Now, some people are going to wonder, well, okay, what about Oliver, though? Is he still alive in the future? What about the future we saw in Legends of Tomorrow, where we saw Old Man Oliver? I think that future is being rewritten. Since The Flash altered reality, I think that future is no longer a future. After all, Rip Hunter did tell the Legends that that was just a possible future, which means that that future probably no longer exists. That's why we also have Connor Hawke back, or John Diggle Jr. back in this, or no, he's not John Diggle Jr. He announced himself as Connor Hawke, I think. Anyways, before I get things mixed up, obviously we see him here, but he's not Green Arrow, and in that Legends of Tomorrow episode, he was Green Arrow, the Green Arrow of the future. Obviously, I don't think it's going to go that way. I really do think Mia is going to become the Green Arrow by the end of it, and William will be the one in the chair helping her out because he's the computer whiz, so he kind of has Felicity's traits, which is interesting that Mia doesn't, because that is her blood daughter. So that's how I think the series is going to end. Now, what about Oliver? It's interesting that the show hasn't revealed where is Oliver yet in the future. William and Mia, or at least William, is trying to really look for him. And I don't think Felicity said where he is yet. So it is interesting that they're keeping that part of the series of the future quiet right now. And I think we will learn by the season finale where Oliver is. And that will be the setup for next season. Which means, what happened to Felicity? Well, I think they are going to kill Felicity off in the future. And if we saw in recent episodes that Felicity was taking care of their daughter hiding in the woods, again, where was Oliver during that period of time? Because we didn't see him in those scenes either, where his daughter was being trained by Nisa Al Ghul, right? So I really do think we're going to learn more about Oliver next season, that he left Felicity for a while, let her take care of the kid. There's going to be some big reason on why Oliver, I think, left. And we're going to learn about it by the end of this season, and that will help set up his character for next season. And I think in the future, Felicity will die. There you go. Now, some Felicity fans are going to probably be happy about this. I'm not happy nor mad about it, because I feel Felicity served her purpose. I never hated Felicity. I wasn't one of those fans that hated that relationship. I did think it got a little annoying at times, but I do think they fixed it since season 5. I think they knew to give it a back burner on season 5 and then get them back together in season 6, and I think they've made it work for the most part. But some people are just going to hate it no matter what, because it's not the true relationship from the comics. It should be Black Canary and Green Arrow. Let the show do its own thing, especially if there wasn't a connection between the other two actors. I think Katie Cassidy and Stephen Amell had some chemistry, maybe not as fun and sweet as Felicity and Oliver, but I think there was something there. We'll see. You know what? I'm curious to see how they're going to end it. I think Arrow has been awesome this season. I think it's been awesome since season 5. I think they found their way back after the tragedy of season 4. I'll admit, there were some episodes that were alright in season 4, but I'll admit that was the weakest season, and it was painful to watch at times. I feel season 5 and onward Arrow has gotten back on track, and look, if people have gotten off and don't want to give the show a chance, that's your choice. I'm happy that I stuck around for this long. I think the show is just as strong as it once was back in the earlier seasons, so I'm looking forward to the way they're going to write off Felicity and how they're going to tie all this up. So, guys, comment below and tell me your thoughts. What do you think about Felicity, or Emily Bett Rickards, leaving the show? Do you think she should have stayed on for the last 10 episodes? Do you think there's a bigger reason why she's leaving, like the theory that I just came up with, that she is going to die by the end of this season? Or do you think that they might have a little bit of trouble writing her off next season? Who knows? Comment below. Tell me your thoughts. I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a huge fan of the Arrowverse. I will be reviewing all the shows all the new seasons once they're done airing. I should do a review on Black Lightning, since I did finish watching that, and I think that was the season finale, the last episode. So we'll see. Anyways, until next time, everybody, take care.